Hey y'all, I'm Scrub, and welcome back to Going Medieval. In the last part, we had a thorough beating handed to us by a couple of bandits of all things, or actually some looters, so it was even more embarrassing. And we also got these nice gates as a result of that, yay! And fortunately, no one actually died from that raid, which was very surprising, but we take what we can get. So today's primary focus is going to be shoring up our defenses, and I did have a couple ideas how to do that. You can see our first idea is to dig out the moat even further because, yes, unfortunately for us, with these defenses in mind, yeah, the looters can actually just ladder right up to the Merlin, get on top of the thing from underneath it somehow, and then go right over. You know, to be fair, we can walk on our own Merlins as well, but I'll be honest, that's just not been something I've ever been a fan of in the entire franchise, which, devs, if you somehow do see this, if you could make that like a toggle option or try it out in the beta to see if it works out like where you can't walk on Merlins, that would be awesome. Because honestly, them using ladders, I would be fine if they just destroyed the Merlin when they put the ladder up and you got to rebuild it. I think that would honestly be better. And then they have to like go onto the wall from there. Of course, I'm not in game design, so I'm sure it's a lot more difficult than that. And we did also have a couple ideas on what we want to do. I did have the brief thought. I don't think it's anything I'm going to change or go with right away, but one thing I was thinking of on that note is actually putting the Merlins back up on top of the wall. Of course, you do lose access to the murder holes, which is the whole point of us sitting them out like we do, but that could be one way to help counteract that. Again, I don't think that's the best idea, but it is an idea. And there was a comment that did offer an interesting suggestion, and it is something I was planning on doing eventually anyway, is that they hadn't seen a too high freestanding ladder. So that could be an idea as well. And to be fair, I do like to go at least double high on walls eventually anyway. Unfortunately, we're a little bit compact for that right now, especially over here at the warehouse. I literally would be blocking off the warehouse, which, I mean, I guess if we're going to do that, we could just call this a wall and then tear down this wall and then extend the armory a little bit. If we just wouldn't have our defenses over here, which I'm not a huge fan of, but again, we'd have the moat, so we might not have to worry about that. We're stepping into a bunch of new territory. It's the fun times, I suppose, as long as we don't die. Now, speaking of fun times, new apple tree, yay. Oh yeah, we might have to tear down Apple Street and relocate it. I forgot about that. And we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. For now, I think our double wide moat is going to be our best bet to give ourselves some kind of control. Because the other thing we were working on is, yeah, this new freestanding defensive method, which I'm not sure how that's going to go. But yeah, my main concern over here is that once they do get down through this gate, which they will get through it at some point, that is a guarantee, I'm worried that they'll just build a ladder underneath it and then go up, which would be annoying, but again, not much we can do about it if they do that. So maybe we will go for that double high defense sooner rather than later. Speaking of that same comment, there was also another part of it that was a little bit interesting to me, and this part feels a little bit gamey to me, but it is an interesting idea. They didn't see them build on floors, so in theory, if we put, say, stick flooring around the entire reign of the base just to prevent building, I think that's a little bit too gamey. I don't like that, so we're not going to do it, but that is apparently an idea. For now, let's just worry about getting stuff built up and worked on that we're already working on, and we'll come up with other plans in the future. But I am thinking that maybe one of our primary plans does end up being the going too high on walls, because that is something I want to do. It's just we might be doing it a lot earlier than I planned to. But of course, after the past 2 or 3 days of not doing anything, we have a lot of catch up to do. So we'll focus on trying to get some of this taken care of first. And yeah, we do have all these set to don't sow. So we will be doing our final round of harvesting, and then we'll be good for the season because it is the 11th of autumn. So we have one more day and then we're right into winter. Although we've been so focused on defenses and fighting lately, I haven't taken a look at anything else. So we should probably see how this is all looking. Seller looks okay. Or, you know, let's do the smart thing and use the menus that tell us everything automatically. That might be the smart play. I did set up a template. Yeah, get crunk responsibly. Are we doing rough wine in that right now? Yes, yeah, because right now we need to make sure that everyone has something to drink. Once we have variety, or more importantly, we have a bunch of that on backstock, then we'll worry about trying to age it. For now, it'll get the job done. And yeah, these guys have been working over in the apiaries overtime, it looks like. And Oswald's working on research, which we should probably also look at. Speaking of defenses, the stonemason bench, so we can actually start doing limestone. we do need to do that, which I guess the follow-up for that is how are we going to expand this once we want to? Because right now my plan would probably be fill in this line with stone, go up to the 3rd tier, and then we'll have to dig the trench out yet again. But if the too high wall is good enough to prevent ladders from being built anyway, then we might be fine just by expanding it like that. Lots of interesting choices to think about, that's for sure. Yeah, everyone's armor got basically annihilated during the last siege, which, yeah, I was thinking about building some basic gambesons to take care of that. Yeah, we've got 291 on linen. I think I can make over at the armor bench. Yeah, I'd be able to make 2 of these. But we might also need the clothing. How's everyone's clothes looking? Winter. A couple are looking pretty low. You're on 1. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually make 2 sets of winter clothing. Yeah, that's 80 apiece. Yikes. All right, this might be a tough first season for us. It might be pretty tough for us. Oh, hello. Ice blocks. Why are... Oh, did I not turn you off in here? Oh, I goofed. I goofed that. That's pretty bad. I really hope it hasn't all been sitting up here. That'd be pretty... not good. Okay, you know what? I think most of it made its way down here. I am glad I saw that, though. Oh, yeah, we are also gonna have to consider our trench when we're going for the cellar as well. That should be fine. We'll probably just expand the cellar inward, so I don't think that's gonna be too much of an issue. It is just something that we need to be aware of. Also, someone please urgent haul the ice. That would be great. And I guess on that note, since we did go for something a little bit defensive last time. Oh, right, I was thinking about doing combat training, though. Ooh. And we do need to get the actual stove going. We've got time. We don't need ice making right away. Yeah, you know what? Let's get a legit kitchen underway since it's just the basic chronicles, which means it's probably high time we went and actually got some limestone, which we will also probably go for stone making sooner rather than later. So let's go for a whole line of that. And this is going to be a quick little research just to make sure that we can actually get the kitchen. I am going to go for decorative structure so we can get the wall pottery. Get that slammed out nice and quickly. How many did we need for that? At least 2. Okay, we can do that, no problem. There we go. We'll get 4 so the place looks a little bit nicer as well. Hooray. And as soon as we get the limestone, we will be building the stove, so that shouldn't be a problem. And we've got the stove set up so that as soon as they have the resources, they'll get that built up, and then we should have a kitchen, which will be nice. Okay, also, I'm trying to force Dwight to deconstruct this, but he literally can't access it or something, so... All right, so this annoying-ass Merlin is just going to live here in perpetuity, unfortunately, and I don't think there's anything I can do about it, so that's fun to look at. I love that for us. It's my favorite. What if we destroy everything around it? You'll do these ones. Okay, now destroy this one. Okay, you know what? Destroy the floor that's holding it up, because now it technically can't exist, right? I know I'm just destroying things for literally no reason, except for the fact that it doesn't look nice, but that's good enough for me. There we go. Now go ahead and put them right back up immediately, and this time don't try to forbid a Merlin, whatever that means. Now we have a Merlin that's not forbidden for whatever reason, even though that's literally impossible. And the moat is coming along ever so nicely. Still have quite a bit of work to do on it, but we'll get there. You know, I am just going to be safe. I'm not sure if they can diagonal from a ladder or not, but I am going to dig these ones out as well, because now that I've seen that, I can't unsee it. Okay, so now we should have these as set up as they need to be, and they'll probably get done today. There's a few little corners here and there, but for them... Oh, this wall has quite a bit of work that needs done. Okay, it might take 2 more days. We'll have to see. Okay, just doing a quick little check to make sure everyone is a-okay. Yeah, we did pick up some of that, like, it has 3 health, so this is gonna wear off before the next siege, I'm sure. The helmets were fine. How are weapons? Bludgeon's a little sketchy. Oh, this sling doesn't work, technically. Oh, yeah, also, Scott, weren't you supposed to be... Yeah, you should actually be on melee. I think I had you on range because you had a concussion. Because I did want, I believe, Laurentia. Yeah, Laurentia, I wanted you on range, actually. So you go range, no shield. Which means you'll need to drop that. And go ahead and drop that as well. There's also some pretty decent red currant growing right now. A lot of it's ripe, so I am going to go ahead and mark some of those for harvest today. Might as well get a little bit of extra food while we can. And we could actually unironically use quite a bit of flax if we're going to try and make some gambesons. I think I'm actually going to go back to having mining set up as a backup job for everybody for now until we get a decent miner, because we are getting quite busy with it all of a sudden. Also, my stupid ass just realized that I had my apparel in the warehouse and not on this stockpile over here. So we actually have plenty of clothing as it turns out. Good news is that we can probably go ahead and get rid of this stockpile. And we do have plenty of room in the warehouse at the moment, so I think we are fine to leave it as is. Okay, Fox showed up on the map. The game's pretty excited about it. Hello, Fox. Speaking of, let's do a quick little carcass check, see if there's anything worth grabbing. Negative. Okay, and I think once again, unless somebody decides, hold on, let me double check if you can do this. Okay, well, and even better news, I can't even right click on this one to try and deconstruct it. So this is also a forbidden thing that for some reason, even though it can't be forbidden, is going to stay forbidden forever. Love that for us. It's the best. You know what? Let's just not look at the seller any longer than we have to. I'm sure it'll be fine. I am thinking maybe what I might want to do tomorrow to start off is just do a massive urgent haul because we have a lot of resources just scattered around base that we haven't had a chance to go and grab. So maybe I just have everyone commit to that for a few hours. I would like to get a decent read on what we actually have. Although I think, there we go. We have enough resources for our new stove. Yay. And there we go, just like that we have a kitchen, which means we can go ahead and deconstruct that, go ahead and start making all of our stuff over here. Go ahead and keep 60 of those on standby. And this is the one that we do want to hold off on, herbs for this. We want to hold off until we either A, have the garden, or B, make sure we have enough medical kits. So as nice as that would be, we don't want that quite yet. Could also start pickling vegetables if we really want to. And yeah, we don't really have enough to spare is the thing for animal feed. I'm thinking we'll start tomorrow off by doing all of this urgent haul around the base. It's mostly dirt and wood, I think. It looks like a lot of that food did get brought in, but we did cook a lot of that into meals, so we are looking good on that front at least. Yeah, a lot of red currant pie, some apple pie, and some honey crisples, which is nice. And also happy first day of winter. And 47 inside. Yeah, we can probably go ahead and start turning up the braziers a little bit. There we go. Make the living areas a little bit more bearable. You're actually kind of freezing in the corner. Okay, I'm glad I saw that. Let's actually go ahead and put another clay brazier in. And we'll move the torch over to the other side of the door so it looks a little bit nicer instead of having the fire on top of the fire. And there we go. Happy winter, everybody. Low temps, high chance of snowfall and blizzard, chance of cold snaps, all that good stuff. And okay, growth halted. So we need to pull these out as is. So go ahead and switch this over to flowering. They'll start taking that out. Oh yeah, the stuff in the trench is not gonna get grabbed, which is a problem, but it's something we'll just have to deal with. Go ahead and cancel those for now. Eventually, I'll probably just put a ladder in to go down and grab some of that. For now, we're not too worried about it. It's literally dirt sitting in a dirt hole. All the dirt cleaned up, no problem. And we should be able to get a lot of this. It is going to be flowering, so we should still get the seed, and we'll be getting some decent chunks of food. I did want to get more seeds for next year, but the important thing is we'll have enough for starting the harvest, and then once we're at that point, we'll be set. Ooh, Laurentia up to 24 botany. One more, and we'll be able to actually do the herb harvest next year, which will be great. And there is the new brazier. Go ahead and set that the same as the other ones. There we go. Now we should be nice and heated everywhere. And speaking of, we should probably go ahead and get one for the workshop as well to make sure that they're heated while they're working. Probably get one in the kitchen as well. Okay, there we go. I think once it gets warmer out, some of the stuff will start growing, but I don't think all of the cabbages were gonna survive until they were gonna go to seed. So I'm fine pulling them out a little bit early. In fact, let's go ahead and make sure we get all of that inside so we can see how much we got. And on that note, I think we can go ahead and grab ice making. Yay! Can't do anything with it yet because it's 47 degrees out, but we will be able to start making use of that soon. We'll let the rest of the work get done before we set that up because, well, we might be able to get some of that done overnight. Yeah, let's set 4 of them up right there. That should be plenty. Gotten more Kelter friends. That's nice. And we are looking a bit low on wood, so I am going to go for a bit of chopping, see if I can get a few of the dead trees that are sitting around. Oh, a friendly visit. Thank you so much. We really do need this one. All right, who are you with? Band of the She-Wolf. All right, hopefully we can get along with you guys. Oh, hello. These guys just died right outside the back. That is huge. Go ahead and urgent haul those, please. Oh, there we go. 80 cabbage. And we just went through a bunch of barley. Oh, right. I forgot. Whoops. Because I set up a new one, I have to do this. We'll be fine. That's not too much barley to lose from that. It still sucks, but yeah, I gotta remember, anytime you reset a new thing, you gotta make sure you reset it every time. And yeah, unfortunately, I think all this barley in this field's probably not gonna grow. Well, it says it still has a day on some. 15 hours on a couple other ones. And if we get lucky and this winter's kind of mild to start off, we might have a chance, but there is a chance all this barley goes to waste. We'll have to see, which means we should definitely grab at least some red currant while we can. And a couple more dead trees out back, it looks like. Yep, grab these. And we'll have Dwight talk to the merchant as soon as he gets back with the carcass of the deer we just grabbed. It'll be good for us to have some meat. And Dwight, there you go. Go talk to Lucy. There you are. Let's see. She has quicklime, limestone, clay. I could actually be interested in your leather so we can make some armor. Smoked meat to buff up our stocks would never be bad. Herbs, junket, lavish meals. Honestly, not a whole lot we're interested in. We do probably want to try and get your gold if we can. What do we have in abundance? We can sell you a bunch of excess hay. Not going to get us much, though, unfortunately. And actually, you're selling ice blocks for extremely cheap, which is, I guess because it's winter, we'll definitely take those. Oh, and those were actually eating up a lot of your weight. Hold on. What else can we sell you that's maybe worth a little bit more? Not our animals. Oh, they're willing to buy food for quite a bit, actually. $6.49 for each individual meal. That is not bad. I don't think we want to sell those, though. We could try and offload some herbs, the backups, to get a bunch of money for a little bit of weight. Take all your gold. What else would we want? I'm going to take a little bit of your leather, and we'll even give you a good deal so that you like us a little bit more. So not the greatest trade deal in history. We're going to take some ice blocks, gold, and some leather for a bunch of hay. And then we need to go ahead and urgent haul all of that inside. And there's the ice block. So we'll go ahead and start cranking these out infinitely. Okay, and I think that will be the entirety of the moat dugout for now, which should be okay. I might eventually, just to make it look uniform, I might go too wide the entire way around. Right now, I'm just worried about the defensive reasons for doing it. But I think this should hopefully prevent some ladders from taking us out in the future. Which, again, I think my biggest concern is that they're going to be like, oh, there's a door there. Let's just build a ladder up instead. So I think if we're going to go for the too high theory, we're going to prioritize the front and then work our way around, which that might actually be something we want to start on tomorrow. I'm not sure what else we need to work on right away. Go ahead and try and grab some of this flax that's out here. Okay, I'm actually going to also knock Laurentia down on... I need to knock her down on... Oh, yeah, mining. There we go. Even though you're good, I'm going to knock you down to 2 on that so you can start working on these wooden parts, because I do want to start trying to lay some more traps out in the meantime. And how are we looking on wood at the moment? 106 because it's not brought in, right? Yeah, I think in the morning we might want to bring all that wood inside so I can actually go double high on the front gatehouse just to prevent that from hopefully getting climbed over. Oh, here we go. Okay, some of the barley's coming in, so I think we'll be okay. It looks like it's staying just warm out enough. I say as it's 29 degrees outside, where it would not definitely be growing at all. Okay, Laurentia is going to town on some trees. Hopefully that'll be enough to push her over to 25. Were you the one that needed to get there? Yeah, you're at 24. And next closest one's at 16, so it will just be you working the herb garden, but it will be a very nice herb garden. I guarantee it. We have a lot of stuff out here, as it turns out, that never got picked up. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. There's so much wood out here. Yeah, we are still waiting on animals to get trained, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's a lot of carcasses, though, that have shown up out of nowhere. Okay, let's grab the boar and the deer for sure. Also, Ulrich, why have you not grabbed clothes? Please go grab clothes. Yeah, we definitely have winter clothes. What are you doing, dude? Oh, are you suffering from cold? I wonder why, you genius. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the update. It feels like it really screwed up templates. Like, it feels like they don't auto-equip. It feels like stuff just breaks and stays on you. It's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But yeah, unfortunately, all of our domestics are still being trained, is what I just remembered that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, as soon as we can get at least one animal hauling, we will be in a much better position. It just takes forever to get them there, unfortunately. And Reicheld and Scott are friends. Isn't that nice? Well, there goes the merchant, so now we gotta be paranoid about whatever the next event's gonna be. In fact, yeah, as soon as Dwight gets back, I'm gonna have him probably start working on that next set of walls. And here we go. We're grabbing as much of the barley as we can. We're getting some flax as well. Oh, there we go. Flax just went majorly into harvest. Okay, so we might be able to make some gambesons, and we're definitely good on clothes. Yeah, let's get as much of this taken care of as we can. Now there's the actual snow coming in. Okay, Dwight. First things first, we are going to need to destroy these merlins that we worked so hard on. There we go, get that. Next step, we will go ahead and go too high on the wooden wall for now. I should probably just do it for the whole thing, right? I was thinking about maybe just putting like some ladders up here to shoot down from, but I might as well make the entire gatehouse too high. Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, I don't know what it is. The auto-equip suddenly seems like it's a joke, because I've had this guy on melee weapons too all day, and he hasn't gone to grab one of the, I don't know, 12 that we have around the base. Yeah, you might, heads up, you might need to do a little bit more babysitting than you're used to as far as your equipment goes. There we go. Go ahead and extend that out a little bit more, and then we'll build up some ladders on each side of this to get to the very top, and hopefully that'll be a good defensive structure. The other thing that I didn't think about is that maybe from up here they'll be able to arc some shots down on the guys behind the gate. I sincerely doubt, because line of sight in this game is dreadful, but you know what? A man can hope. And we can probably honestly turn these ones into straight merlins instead of the single post ones. There we go, that looks a little bit nicer. Dwight turns 33 without a perk. And yeah, nothing too crazy here. We're just gonna go for some straight up wooden ladders to get up top, and then we will need to do the flooring, and then we can put some more merlins on. But fingers crossed, hopefully now that this is too high above the ground, they can't ladder up to this. And I am gonna go ahead and throw a couple little extra traps over here right behind the gates as a nice little defensive measure. This will be the new little actual gatehouse. And hopefully these gates will help keep them out long enough for everything else to do its job. And then we, of course, have this little interior kill box, so hopefully this will get the work done. We'll have to see. Okay, you know what? When it's actually a little bit later in the day, this stuff is still growing, so we might be able to get all of the barley if we're lucky. That'd be great. Oswald up to 30 intellectual as well is very nice. And speaking of intellectual, how's our research looking? I was considering going fleshing too, so we can get some more longbows out. That would be nice. But I think if we're talking about defenses, we do probably want to get into stone block cutting here pretty shortly. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything for a quick turnaround this year on it, but it would be nice. Of course, I was talking about how I wanted to work on combat training. I'll let it sit for a second and build up. I don't think there's anything we need right away. Also, we get so much meat out of deer, I do need to bump this up to 300 or so, because we do want to probably turn this leather into armor now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, also it does look like that our little cellar might finally be filling up, so let's actually go ahead and expand that a little bit more. Because I was just looking, and it does look like that tallow does go bad on the stockpile, so we might want to start keeping that down here, and I don't think I can put that on the rack, unfortunately. Or the shelves, rather. And yeah, because that's part of the butchering process, that's actually a manufactured good. So let's go ahead and remove that from that stockpile and go ahead and start keeping that in the cellar. And we can go out one more as well on this. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Just got a couple more. And then the second layer of traps is going to be nice and ready to go as well. Excellent. And we just got one barley left. Oh, at 98. Hopefully tomorrow that'll grow. And then I think that will be the crop for the year, unless this flax also wants to grow, which that has to go 2 whole days. So chances are that's just going to die in the field, which is a bit of a shame. But here we go. Ulrich is going to go ahead and get the last of the cellar dug out, so now we can expand, and then we will need to go ahead and rebuild everything. There we go. Do that, and then go ahead and copy the... Oh, make sure we get the floor in first. That is the wicker grated flooring that I like. And then we build this on top of that. Hooray. And that'll all get done tomorrow because it's getting pretty late. And I am going to go ahead and put in an order for 1 piece of light armor to hopefully get that done before the next attack, because we do need a little bit. Oh, we might need more than that. We'll probably actually need 3 or 4. That's a little sketchy. Go ahead and drop that one. All right, so let's try and get 2 of those. Yeah, these deer should hopefully defend us. Okay, we got 1 left. How many carcasses are still out there? We might need to go grab those ones as well. Yeah, there's 1 wolf carcass left. It's at 8 HP. Hopefully we can get it before it goes bad and chop it up. Okay, there we go. Dwight just finished construction. So this is what our hopefully 1 attack point should look like, because, yeah, again, unless they can build on nothing, which, oh, you know what? They might be able to corner this piece. Let's mine that out as well, just to be safe, and this one as well. Yeah, in theory, I don't think they should be able to get onto any single point of the wall. Make sure I didn't miss any points. And unless they do ladder on top of ladder, which which I think we should be fine. Then hopefully they just have to actually work their way for a siege now, in which case I think we'll be okay. Okay, good news is we did get that wolf. Bad news is I think it's going to go bad before she has time to chop it up, so bit of a shame, but at least we tried. The question is, how much leather did we end up with? Textiles, 74. We might be able to do one more. Maybe two, depending on how much leather we get out of it here. Okay, yeah, you're still working on that first one, so we'll probably get 2 light armor out of all the carcasses that we brought in. Not too bad. Okay, there we go. I think that was the last corner piece. There we go. Now I think our single walls should be defended against ladders. And then once we get this dirt out of the cellar, we should have room for plenty of ice blocks and tallow, because they got the first set done. Yay. Oh, good news. They did actually end up getting that one figured out. Hooray. All right, you only have... Yeah, there's no shot this is actually going to be able to grow during all that time, unfortunately, but it's fine. It's one piece. Speaking of, let's actually go ahead and bring all of that inside, because we might need to actually make some gambesons for the next siege. And let's go ahead and dig out the next row so that we know to put up the wooden beam. And it'll make sure we have floor space for hopefully more ice blocks. But while I'm thinking about it, we should definitely make sure that the tallow that was in here gets brought down. There we go. All right, cellar, it looks like we'll be good for a while. It looks like we are putting some stuff on these shelves, but it looks like we've got plenty of room. And yeah, Laurentia has been going all in on carpentry, which is great because, yeah, she's mainly a grower, but of course, during winter, she has nothing else to work on. So yeah, if we can get her to do a little bit of that until we find either someone else to work the field, or even better, if we found a legit carpenter, that would be great. And even more friendship. Everyone has been so nice this playthrough. It's been lovely. Don't know how nice it's going to be when we all catch an arrow to the face or a sword to the neck, but at least we can die happy. Also going to go ahead and build a second trough because we're starting to get a little bit cramped back here. Oh, speaking of, I forgot. We should probably get some torches for the animals, huh? They would probably appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get a couple wooden torches there. Okay, you failed that attempt, but at least you're up to level 20 animal handling. Hopefully that means you can get someone trained. Unless, did I miss one by chance? Well, we missed one being born, but none of them are ready to do any hauling yet. Someday. Oh yeah, we could also go for the large water barrel if we really wanted to. I don't think we really have the room for it, but it is something we could do. I'll probably do that eventually once we move the shrines, but we'll worry about that later. I just noticed that was down there. We do also have the tool shelf. Oh, wait a minute. The tool shelf. Hold on. We might actually have a workshop. I completely forgot about that. Let's see. One right there. One right there. And one right there. I'll be honest. I thought that was the medicine one that came with that. That's later down the line. That's my bad. Good news. We might actually have gotten 2 rooms out of that tech. Also, how are we looking on wood? Because we have been chunking through it. Oh, yeah, we're out. Good. Probably go ahead and do another round of dead trees where we can find them. Again, we probably just need to do some hauling, but we might as well do a little bit of chopping as well. You know what? That's probably what they keep running out here for, is to grab enough wood to do their job and then come back inside. So we should probably go ahead and mark some of these for urgent haul. Yeah, we've got a few piles of like 25s and 50s all around the base now. Good problem to have, but we still gotta put in the effort to go grab it. Okay, so as it turns out, they're gonna go do that in the morning because it's already midnight. And how about that's where we call it apart for here, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of decent progress on our defenses. This should hopefully get us through the next major siege. We'll have to see, because we've got the gates set up. It's gonna do all right. We've got some traps set up behind it, and hopefully the ladders can't scale this front part. We also finished digging out the trench too wide, so they shouldn't be able to climb up on the merlins like they did last time. So I think we're at the point where we're just about as prepared for the siege as we can be. And next time we are probably due for an event or two, so we'll have to see where we come with that. And I'm thinking we should hopefully get the workshop right away at the next part. So hopefully y'all are looking forward to it. Until then, thanks for stopping by. See you later.